Welcome to the International Weightlifting Federation's online Youth World Cup. Weightlifters around the globe in the four corners of the universe are competing against each other in real time, from their homes, their gyms, their training centers, wherever they can find one place to put a camera, a bunch of weight, and a platform. I'm your host, Richard Mason in Canada. This is the B session for the plus 102 kilo men. Let's meet the athletes who have entered into this. Representing Fiji, Simeone Jamal. Representing Latvia, Denis Kakars. Representing Saudi Arabia, Dawood Al-Ahmad. Representing Cuba, Alejandro Carazana Rodriguez. And representing Estonia, John Baskirov. The referees for this session include from Aruba, Hugo Temin. From Russia, Alexander Kishkin. From Mexico, Nadia Alvarado. Our reserve referee from Peru is Jorge Freddy Ocreas. He will only judge the lift if any of our other referees have technical difficulties. This event is hosted by the Peruvian Weightlifting Federation. It's a replacement. We're all supposed to be gathered together today in Lima, but because of the pandemic, this is a replacement for the IWF Youth World Championship. Even though we can't get together, we can still promote real, live, and worldwide participation of athletes from the safety of their own homes. Each lifter will still do 3 lifts in the snatch, 3 lifts in the clean and jerk, all in front of one camera, and they get to choose the location. Our first athlete is ready, 60 kilos on the bar. This is the first attempt in the snatch of this session, and it belongs to Simeone Jamal, Fiji.
60 kilos, primer intento de arranque para Simón Jamal de Fiji.
Good lift, Simeone Jamal, 60 kilos.
Buena alzada para Jamal de la isla de Fiji.
Next athlete is calling for 97 kilos. John Baskirov, Estonia.
97 kilos, primer intento para John Baskirov de Estonia.
Good lift, Baskirov, 97 kilos.
Buena alzada para Baskirov de Estonia.
Next athlete representing Latvia is Denis Kakars, 105 kilos, first attempt in the snatch.
105 kilos para Denis Kakars de Latvia. Primer intento.
No lift, Kakars, 105 kilos.
No hay alzada para Kakars con 105 kilos.
Next athlete calling for 110 kilos, representing Saudi Arabia, Dawood Al-Ahmad.
Dawood Al-Ahmad del Reino de Arabia Saudita, primer intento.
Good lift, 110 kilos.
Buena alzada para el joven de el Reino de Arabia Saudita.
Next athlete calling for 115 kilos, Alejandro Carazana.
115 kilos primer intento para Alejandro Carrazana, de Cuba.
A good lift for Carrazana of Cuba, 115 kilos.
Buena alzada para el cubano Carrazana.
Now we're in our 30-second break, the opportunity for the athletes and coaches to fine-tune that next attempt. They want to find a weight that the athlete can complete, but maybe try and push their opponent to 1 kilo more than they can make. We have 5 athletes in this session so far. Our early leader is Carrazana of Cuba with 115 kilos, followed by El Ahmad at 110. In third, it's Baskirov of Estonia with 97 kilos. And Jamal is in fourth right now with 60 kilos. And that was a miss for Kakars at 105 kilos. Now, round 2 begins. 65 kilos. Simeone Jamal, Fiji, 65 kilos, second attempt.
Segundo intento con 65 kilos, Simeone Jamal, de la isla de Fiji.
Good lift at 65 kilos, Jamal.
Buena alzada para Jamal, de la isla de Fiji.
102 kilos now, representing Estonia, Jan Baskirov.
102 kilos. Segundo intento en arranque para Jan Baskirov, de Estonia.
Majority says good lift, 102 kilos, Baskirov.
Buena alzada por decisión mayoritaria para el joven de Estonia.
Now 105 kilos, representing Latvia, Denis Kakars.
105 kilos segundo intento para Denis Kakars, de Latvia.
We'd like to remind the participants that at the end of the snatch portion of this session, there will be a 15-minute break, not the traditional 10, a 15-minute break between the snatch and the clean and jerk.
Habrá un descanso de 15 minutos entre el arranque y el envión.
No lift for Kakars of Latvia, 105 kilos.
No logra la alzada el joven Kakars de Latvia.
Next athlete is calling for 116 kilos, representing Saudi Arabia, Dawood Al-Ahmad.
116 kilos. Ahmad, de Reino de Arabia Saudita.
Good lift, Al-Ahmad.
Buena alzada para el joven de Arabia Saudita.
Final attempt of round 2, 120 kilos, representing Cuba, Alejandro Carrazana.
Segundo intento con 120 kilos, Alejandro Carrazana Rodríguez, de Cuba.
Good lift, 120 kilos.
Buena alzada de 120 kilos para el joven Carrasana de Cuba.
That closes out round number 2. Round number 3 in the snatch is about 30 seconds away. As we've told you, this is not the traditional rules. This is not the normal way that an IWF weightlifting event is conducted. It still gives an opportunity for our youth athletes to get out, lift, and compete in real time against their compatriots from around the globe. But because of the non-traditional format, we can't recognize records that are set, and the athletes' totals cannot be used to qualify for other events. Now, round 3 begins. 70 kilos. Simeone Jamal, Fiji.
Tercer intento con 70 kilos para Simeone Jamal de la isla de Fiji.
No lift. Jamal, 70 kilos.
No completa la alzada, Jamal de Fiji.
Next athlete calling for 105 kilos. Jan Baskirov, Estonia.
105 kilos para el competidor Jan Baskirov de Estonia.
Majority says good lift. Baskirov.
Buena alzada para Baskirov de Estonia.
Next athlete calling for 105 kilos, third attempt in the snatch. Representing Latvia, Denis Kakars.
105 kilos, tercer intento en arranque para Denis Kakars de Latvia.
No lift. Kakars.
No hay intento correcto para Kakars en esta sesión.
Now, 121 kilos. Third attempt in the snatch belongs to Dawood Al-Ahmad.
121 kilos, tercer intento para Ahmad del Reino de Arabia Saudita.
No lift for Al-Ahmad at 121 kilos.
No hay alzada para Al-Ahmad de Arabia Saudita.
122 kilos. Representing Cuba, Alejandro Carrasana, third attempt.
Tercer intento de arranque con 122 kilos para Alejandro Carrasana Rodríguez de Cuba.
No lift, Carrasana, 122 kilos.
No hay alzada para Carrasana en esta ocasión.
That concludes the snatch portion of the lifting of this session. The clean and jerk is approximately 15 minutes away. Let's take a look at the scoreboard and see just exactly how this all sorts out. So far, 120 kilos, the best lift by Cuba's Carrasano, made on his second attempt, followed by the 116 kilos from Saudi Arabia and Al-Ahmad. 105 kilos for Baskirov of Estonia, and it was 65 kilos posted by Jamal of Fiji. No lifts that were successful for Latvia and Kakars, but hopefully we'll see him back in the clean and jerk. We're going to head to the highlights, the visual highlights of the men's plus 102 kilo B group session. Check out a couple of videos of Peru, maybe learn a little bit more about barbells, and we'll be right back in about 15 minutes time with the clean and jerk. This is the men's 102 plus kilo B session at the IWF Online Youth World Cup. Welcome back to the IWF Online Youth World Cup. Hosted by the Peruvian Weightlifting Federation, we are watching these lifters lift all around the world, all on Peru time. 80 kilos on the bar. This is our first attempt in the clean and jerk in the men's 102 plus B kilo session. Simeone Jamal, Fiji.
80 kilos, primer intento en envión para Simeone Jamal, de la isla de Fiji.
Jamal's lift is a good lift at 80 kilos.
Buena alzada para el joven Jamal de Fiji.
Next athlete is calling for 125 kilos. Representing Latvia, Denis Kakars.
125 kilos, primer intento en envión para Denis Kakars de Latvia.
That's a good lift for Kakars, 125 kilos.
Buena alzada para el joven Kakars de Latvia.
Next athlete is calling for 125 kilos as well. That's 4 big red plates, a bar, and some collars for John Beskarov.
De Estonia, 125 kilos para Kascaros.
Good lift. Daskarov, 125 kilos, Estonia.
Buena alzada para el joven de Estonia.
Next athlete calling for 135 kilos, representing Saudi Arabia. First attempt in the clean and jerk, Dawood Al-Ahmad.
135 kilos, primer intento en envión para Al-Hamad, del Reino de Arabia Saudita.
No lift. Al-Ahmad, 135 kilos, majority decision.
Por decisión dividida, no hay alzada para el joven de Arabia Saudita.
Next weight is 145 kilos. The final of our first attempts in the clean belongs to Alejandro Carazana, Cuba.
145 kilos. Intento de envión para Carrazana Rodríguez, de Cuba.
That's a good lift, 145 kilos for Carazana.
Buena alzada para el cubano Carrazana.
We're in our 30-second break between attempts, but we can tell you right now, based on how this works out, currently our leader with 265 kilos is Carezana of Cuba. He has a 120 snatch and a 145 kilo clean and jerk. We also have totals from Baskarov of Estonia with 105 and 130, or 125 for a 230 total, and Jamal with 145 is his total, and that's 80 plus 65. Next athlete is Jamal. Simeone Jamal, Fiji, 87 kilos, second attempt.
87 kilos, segundo intento de envión para Simeone Jamal, de la isla de Fiji.
Good lift, Jamal, 87 kilos.
Buena alzada para el joven Jamal, de la isla de Fiji.
Second attempt now, belonging to Estonia. John Baskarov, 130 kilos, attempt 2.
130 kilos, segundo envión para Baskirov, de Estonia.
Majority says good lift, Baskarov.
Buena alzada para Baskirov, de Estonia.
Another kilo, please, 131 kilos, second attempt, representing Latvia, Denis Kakars.
131 kilos, segundo envión para Denis Kakars, de Latvia.
That's a good lift. Kakars, 131 kilos.
Buena alzada para Kakars, desde Latvia.
Next weight, 135 kilos. From Saudi Arabia, Dawood Al-Ahmad, second attempt.
Segundo intento en envión para Al-Hamad, de el Reino de Arabia Saudita.
A good lift, Al-Ahmad.
Alzada correcta para Al-Hamad, de Arabia Saudita.
Final lift of the second round of the clean and jerk. Representing Cuba, 150 kilos, Alejandro Carezana Rodriguez.
150 kilos, envión para Carrasana Rodríguez, de Cuba.
A good lift for Carazana of Cuba, 150 kilos.
Buena alzada para el cubano Carrazana Rodríguez.
The athletes are making their final adjustments for their final attempt in the clean and jerk in the men's plus 102 kilo B category. If you want to tune in for the men's plus 102 kilo A category, it will happen at 1:30 this afternoon, Lima, Peru time. And right after this session, we have at 11 o'clock Lima, Peru time, it's the women's 81 kilo A session. We'll finish off the day and finish off the competition with the IWF Online Youth World Cup with at 3 o'clock this afternoon, Lima time, it'll be the plus 81 kilo A session for women. Now, 95 kilos on the bar. Simeone Jamal, Fiji, third attempt.
Tercer intento de envión para Simeone Jamal de la isla de Fiji.
Jamal's lift is a good lift, 95 kilos.
Buena alzada con 95 kilos para Jamal de Fiji.
Next athlete, 135 kilos, representing Estonia, John Basketov.
135 kilos. Intento de envión para John Baskirov de Estonia.
No lift at 135 kilos for Basketov.
No hay alzada para Baskirov, que representa a Estonia.
Next athlete is calling for 136 kilos, Denis Kakars, Latvia, third attempt in the clean and jerk.
Tercer intento en envión, 136 kilos, Denis Kakars de Latvia.
Good lift, Kakars, Latvia, 136 kilos.
Buena alzada de 136 kilos para Kakars de Latvia.
Next athlete's calling for 140 kilos, Dawood Al-Ahmad, Saudi Arabia, third attempt in the clean and jerk.
Tercer intento en envión, 140 kilos, Al-Ahmad del Reino de Arabia Saudita.
Good lift for Al-Ahmad, 140 kilos.
Buena alzada para Al-Ahmad de Arabia Saudita.
One lift remaining, 155 kilos, representing Cuba, third and final attempt, Alejandro Carazana Rodríguez.
155 kilos. Tercer y último intento para Alejandro Carrazana de Cuba.
Good lift to close this out for Carazana of Cuba.
Concluimos con una buena alzada de Carrazana desde Cuba.
That concludes the lifting of the men's plus 102 kilo B session at the IWF Online Youth World Cup. If we take a look at the scoreboard, we can see how this all sorts out. As you can see, Kakars did not have a successful snatch, so despite 136 kilos in the clean and jerk, he has no total. Now, as for the other athletes, Jamal of Fiji posted 65 and 95 for a 160 kilo total. Baskirov of Estonia, a 5 for 6 day, 105 in the snatch, 130 in the clean and jerk, 235 kilos for him. Al-Ahmad of Saudi Arabia was able to hoist 116 kilos in the snatch, 140 in the clean and jerk for a 256 kilo total. But the best of the bees was Carazana of Cuba, 120 in the snatch, 155 in the clean and jerk, and that makes a 275 kilo total. Before we take a look at the highlights from the men's plus 102 kilo B session, we will tell you that there's more great weightlifting still to come today. At 11 o'clock Peru time, in about 45 minutes, we will start the women's 81 kilo A session. At 1:30 this afternoon, Peru time, we'll start with the men's plus 102 kilo A session, the remaining athletes in this weight category. And we'll close it out with the women's plus 81 kilo A session. That starts at 3 p.m. Lima time. Thanks for taking the time to join us. We'll leave you with some highlights. And this is the IWF Online Youth World Cup